Hello, parents. It's Dr. Jones here, and I'd just like to take a little bit of time to talk to you about how you could help your child do well on his or her interim assessment. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to go over today, but I want to start with the why and the what. So let's talk about the why. Why give online assessments right now? Well, we really need to see what the children of KCPS remember. Your child, their peers, and really look at how we can create lessons to better meet those needs. In order to do so, we really need to look at what your child needs as far as the concepts and standards that they can't remember or they need a little bit of help with. And by doing this, we can make the instruction more individualized to meet your child's needs. Now, as far as this assessment is concerned, you may ask, well, what if my child gets something wrong? I want to assure you that your child will not be penalized for getting wrong answers. As a matter of fact, we want your child to try their best, to even guess if they think they know the answer, but do as much of the test as possible. And again, I want to restate that this assessment will not bring down your child's grade. Now, let's talk about how your child will be given the assessment and then how will they actually be able to access the test. Each of your children's teachers will be given a URL test link code. Looks kind of like this. The teacher will then send out the code to your child via either Google Classroom or through their Seesaw account. And when your child logs on to that URL, it will send them to a window that looks similar to this. So what you will see is that all your child has to do is enter their student number. So especially for those younger scholars, you may have to help them with this. But for most of our middle school and high school students, they already know what this number is. Once they hit next, then what they'll see in the top right-hand corner is their name and a little button that says Begin Test. That's all they have to do. At this point, they will be logged right into the test, question number 1, and then they can move forward. Now, another question that you may have is, okay, well, that lets you know what your child's going to be doing, but what can you do to help your child get ready for these tests? So here's a couple of quick tips. First of all, just like with any of the online classes that your child's going to be taking, if you have a dedicated area where they could just focus on the test, that would be great. Now, having a spot all to themselves is the best scenario. However, in cases where they have siblings that will be testing around them, having headphones and having just a small dedicated area could work very well. Next, make sure that they have all of their materials close by. Pencils, paper, water, things that will just help the test environment to go more smoothly. Now, with all of the tests, there are places where students can type on the computer, but sometimes it's good to have that scratch paper available. Headphones can be used on our tests, and what you will find is that for most of the tests, it's very helpful to have them. Here's why. With some of our universal accommodations, and think of these as just ways that children can access the test. We have opened up a text-to-speech option for all of our questions. And so when your child hits the play button, the system will actually read this question to them. For some of our students, especially those that need a little extra help, not only will the software read the question, but it'll also read the passage. Now, there are a few exceptions due to the type of test your child is taking. So not all reading passages will be available, but for most of the tests, they will. Next, allow your child to take some breaks, short ones. The way that you would be able to do this is just by having them click this pause button. Now, one of the things I do want to say, the pause button, especially for our older students who may have a test that has a time limit, doesn't stop the timer. But what it does is hold their place on this exam. For those students where there is no time limit, the pause button just holds their place, and it makes it very easy for your child to know where they stop and where they need to start again. This is a great tool if they have to take a bathroom break, or if for whatever reason they need to stop for lunch. Next, make sure your child, when they're finished, clicks the button Finish Test. Let me show you. With all the tests, there's a button located at the top right-hand corner, right underneath your child's name, that's going to say Review or Finish Test. It's a multi-step process to finish the test, so I'll go over this right now. When your child selects Finish Test, the first button that'll appear is this green one that says Finish Test. On the other side, the child will be able to see all the questions that they have, so they can review their questions at this time. Now, if they click the button again and there are any questions that are unanswered, this window will appear, just letting your child know and you that there are still some questions that they have not submitted an answer for. If your child is okay with this, and if you're okay with this, you can just hit Finish. If, however, your child wants to go back and put in an answer for those questions, just go to the Go Back button and they'll be able to do that. You will know that your child has successfully submitted their test when you see this appear on the screen. You have completed your test. At this point, not only did your child finish their test, now it's been submitted and their teacher can now grade it and it is in the record. So at this point, your child can just close out the link or close out the window and they're done. Now, the last question is the when. So the testing window for our interim assessments is between January 11th and January 22nd. I know that with help, your child will be very successful on this. And more important, will have a very pleasant experience with this process. I hope this has been helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to your child's teacher or the school admin, and we will get back with you. Thank you.